Yo, what's up guys? I hope you're all doing well. Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation may be over. I really didn't want to make this video, but let's talk about it. So I talked about this about a week ago. I made a video about a week ago talking about Ashes of Creation. I played 350 hours of this since the Steam release, and I loved it. I joined a guild, I made friends, I played, I leveled, I played the end game. I had a ton of fun. I really enjoyed this game. And I talked about it, and I told you all how fun it was and how excited I was for it. Regardless of a few problems, I really enjoyed my time playing this game. And it looks like that may be the last we get to play of the game, because there's been some massive internal problems at Intrepid Studios, and I'm not going to talk about the specifics here. I don't want to get into that, and I'd appreciate if you respect that and don't start insulting anybody on the team down below. Let's keep this. There's plenty of videos where they're getting into the real specifics of the studio problems, and they're really digging at the team, and you can go and leave those comments there. I want to talk about different stuff here, but basically what we know so far is there's been big internal struggle, and the leadership team there's been a big disagreement at the top, and people have walked away. That's all I want to say. And the future of the game is looking very bleak. We've heard nothing really officially, and we have no idea who's still working on the game, what's going on, and if the game is even going to see further development. So that's all I want to say on the Ashes matter. I'm pretty sad by it. I love this game. I thought it was really good, and it's the second huge MMO from a relatively big team that has gone down recently. New World, another amazing game by Amazon Game Studios, was taken down, towards the end of last year, I think, and now this. And rather than sit here, I wanted to make, I was going to make the general video of what's going on at Ashes, and but I don't want to be the negative guy. I don't want to make a negative video. So instead, I've been thinking about what to talk about. So instead, what I want to do is I want to say, if you come from New World, if you come from Ashes, if you love either of those games, they both had the same thing going for them. They had good PvP, they had sandbox elements, and they had really good social elements. Where do you go next? As someone in the MMO space, here's my recommendations. Number one would be this game here, Mortal Online 2. There's a game on Steam. It is buy to play, and there is a sub right now. Now, Mortal Online 2 is only a game I would recommend to those looking for a full loop PvP experience. But if you are looking for that, I've not found any game in the last few years that does it as good as this. And you could recommend older games, but this is a game in UE5 with, these are in-game graphics, stunning UE5 graphics, really good combat, some of the best I've ever played, like directional combat with magic, with pets, with taming. It really has everything I want from a PvP MMO, except it has a very small team. It has a very small team in Sweden, and it comes with all of the problems of a small team, which are, slow development. Patches take a while to get out, and when they do get out, they might have problems, and those problems take a while to get done. And if there's bots or things like that, that takes a while to get on top of, because they have a very small team. And that is the game's resounding problem, which does lead to smaller player counts. But the game is constantly updating. It's constantly bringing out new content. This came out in last year, which was like their big reckoning patch with these like bug invasions and new weapon abilities. And the game is one of my most played games on Steam. So it would be wrong of me not to at least recommend it. But if you can get around, the sub, if you can get around the small player count, it's all on one server. So, when I say like 500, 1,000 players, that's all on one map. If you can get around that, and you can get around that, you might not be playing this every single day, and content might not be dropping every single week. If you can get around like the slower pace of development, the small team, if you can get around those things, the amount of content you can get from this game, the amount of fun you can have is unmatched. So I have to put it on here as a recommendation with a very big disclaimer of know what you're getting into before you try it, because most people are going to have a very hard time with this. Next up would be World of Warcraft. It needs no real introduction. Most people know of it or have played it at some point over the 20 years it's been out. But I've got to put it on here because if the thing you liked about Ashes wasn't the PvP, the openness, the sandbox elements, it was the combat. World of Warcraft probably has the most similar tab target combat. The reason it's been the top dog, the #1 MMO for so many years, is because it has the sleek, fast, really polished tab target combat where you can set up combos. There's tons of classes, tons of content to do, similarly to Ashes where it has, you know, the 8-man grouping up for content, and then you go into the dungeons and at the end and stuff like that. It has all of that, dungeons, raids, 20 years worth. And now's probably the perfect time to talk about it because the new expansion comes out on the, I think like the end of the month or the start of next month is like, depending which version you get, it comes out at the very end of the month. So it's the perfect time to jump in because everybody gets a fresh start on that release. Secondly, you get a free trial of this and then you can buy the expansions. And on top of this, with the new expansion, they are also adding housing. So that will bring even more different types of people that like different types of combat. So I generally would say this is a safe bet because it has something for everyone. If you like PvP, if you like collections, if you like end game raiding, there's pretty much something for everyone. On top of that, with your sub, you also get access to the old school version of the game, classic WoW, which think like Runescape and old school, you get both. Your sub gets you both. So yeah, there's pretty much something for everyone here, and I'm sure there's something that somebody would enjoy because you already, if you like Ashes, you probably already like the combat. So I have to put it on the list. I've played this game for 20 years and I still log in all the time. So yeah, easily a good game to move to if you haven't played it. And if you're looking to jump back in, again, a great time because we're about to hit a new expansion. Next up, I have to go to another sandbox game that is just the pinnacle of content, and that is OSRS, Old School RuneScape. This is just the perfect sandbox game. It has every single thing you could ever want in a sandbox except for the graphics. There's a reason this is still one of the most played MMOs, despite looking like it does. I think one of the big parts about Ashes that is so appealing, and also RuneScape, is the gathering, the crafting, and how that works into other players and how that feeds into everything else. And that's where RuneScape just has it for me. The life skill system is just incredible. It is just gold standard. It does everything right. You can just go and play this game and just play it as a full life skill. And it's not just like picking herbs. There is that, and there's the fishing and all that cooking and all that side. But then there are skills designed around combat, like Slayer, where you hunt harder and harder monsters. You go and do bosses. There's group content. There's guild content. There's so much PvP in the wilderness. There's so much you can do in this game that I only got into this recently, and it absolutely blew me away. And I've had an active sub since finding it. I honestly, I struggle to fault it, and I recommend it to everyone who hasn't tried it because they just don't realize what they're missing until they play it. It's honestly an incredible game. I would say if you like that side of, like, if you spent your time in Ashes and you were gathering and you were hunting and you wanted to know how the hunting, you know, went into the tanning and why do so many people want wolf carcass and why do so many people want this set and why, you know, if you were interested in that part of the game, RuneScape will give you everything you want and more, in my opinion. But they're the big three that I would definitely recommend, and hopefully, you know, I play all three of those regularly, so hopefully something within those three gives you that same satisfaction and that same enjoyment that you found in Ashes or even New World. They would honestly be my main three games that I would recommend. Honorable mentions would be like Albion Online. That game is really good. A lot of people can't get over the graphics in that game. I personally find it pretty good. I jump in and out of Albion when there's big updates. I find it quite, if you're looking for like that sandbox PvP game where you can just go into like a red zone and fight people, it ticks that box, and it does it really well. Black Desert Online is a game I go back to at least once a year and jump in, and amazing life skill system. Some of the most like stunning and visually impressive combat. Every time there's a new class, it's worth checking out. Black Desert. So yeah, they would be my other two maybe recommendations that I would suggest. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you found something here that you saw something in some game that you found interesting. If you want a full review of any of these, I do try and make reviews throughout the year. If there's any game here specifically that you'd like to see a full review on, let me know. And if there's any other game you would recommend to people, maybe you left Ashes and you went to play something else and you're loving it, let people know down below, because I think a lot of people are in the same boat, and hopefully we can try and turn something really negative and really sad into something that, you know, we can all find new games and have fun together. I'll be reading the comments and seeing what you've got to say. I've also got a Discord linked. I'll link it down below if you want to come and talk to other MMO gamers. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.